What's going on, Minties? The Uncanny Omar here from Nearman Condition, and today I'm going to be looking at the Thor and Loki Blood Brothers hardcover from Marvel Comics. This is the new printing that's oversized, so please stay tuned. Okay, now before I get started, I'd like to give a quick thank you to David Gabriel and Marvel Comics for sending me an advance copy of this book. The book is scheduled to come out on August 21st, and that is at places like Cheap Graphic Novels or In Stock Trades, and everywhere else like Amazon a couple weeks afterwards. As I mentioned, the book is oversized, so we're looking at 9.5 inches long and right under 13.5 inches tall. So let's compare it to other books. So here it is compared to the size of a standard trade paperback. Here it is compared to the size of an omnibus. Now, before rumors start flying, I'm just using this as a comparison. I promise I don't know if there's a Thor JMS reprint coming or not. But here it is compared to that. Obviously taller and wider. So it looks to be the dimensions of that Silver Surfer book that I did an overview of earlier this month. Except this book does not have a dust jacket. No dust jacket. It's just the art printed on the actual hardcover. So obviously it's a lot thinner than the trade paperback or the omnibus that I showed, because it only has 149 pages. But of course it's huge, it's oversized. So let's look at the inside while I'll talk about the contents. Okay, let's open it up. Thor and Loki, Blood Brothers, but what it really is a collection of Loki issues 1 through 4 by, well, here we go. Here's the table of contents, written by Robert Rhodey and Ezad Ribic is the artist. So it collects issues 1 through 4 of Loki. Also Journey into Mystery 85 and 112 and Thor 12. And I'll talk a little bit about why I think that's in there as I look through the book. So this is the beautiful artwork. Now, Ribic had done some artwork for Marvel before. I don't know if y'all remember, what was it, The Mutants, or there was a couple of issues of Ultimate X-Men that he did. But this is the one that I was like, man, this guy's amazing. I wish one day he would draw a Conan book. It's exactly what I was thinking. And now he's doing covers. And then eventually he went on to work with Jason Aaron on the first arc of Jason Aaron's run on Thor, which was the God Butcher arc. But I loved the use of colors in his painted art style. It reminded me a lot of like Frank Frazetta. So here's some of that. And like I said, issues 1 through 4, it's basically the story of what would happen if Loki took over Asgard. That's all I will say. And it's a very interesting look at Loki and who he is as a character, long before the movies came out, where you're like, oh man, Loki is this really hot, good-looking dude. Funny that as a shapeshifter, he decides to look like an old man through most of this series, who's losing his teeth. So, here, let's flip a little more through the middle, so you can see some of the action sequences. And then, as I said, included in here are also Journey into Mystery 85, which is the first appearance of Loki, and 112. The Tales of Asgard part. And I want to say, I think that's the story where Odin first kills Loki's father in a war and then adopts Loki as his own son. And that's the first time you hear that. Here's some more of this beautiful artwork. I wish they had used the full page for the art, but I don't think the dimensions would have worked properly. So on the outside you have this kind of framed looking artwork. And here's one of the covers. Fan service. There's a look at his version of Hela. Here's the proposal for the original 4-issue miniseries. And here's some character studies. Just absolutely gorgeous. You can tell why this book keeps being reprinted. As a matter of fact, it's been printed in trade paperback, a digest format. Also been reprinted as a hardcover a couple of years ago, but the book originally came out in 2004 as a single issue. Wait, it's also been adapted into a Netflix miniseries. I forgot about that, like a 4-issue or 4-episode Netflix series. Here's the Journey into Mystery 85, first appearance of Loki. The previous collections have had this, and right here, the issue of Thor with the Tales of Asgard, telling the origin of Loki and how he became Odin's son, or Odin's son, not Odin's son. But they don't include this and this is issue 12 of the JMS run. And this is when Loki, during those years, was going as a female. And then he reverted back to a male. And he seeks out the help of Hela, I think, to overthrow his brother on the throne and to change everybody's mind on how they feel about Thor and Balder the Brave. But it's got gorgeous artwork by Oliver Copiel. So that's the first time we've seen this collected in this size format. It's been collected in an omnibus as well as trade paperbacks in the past. But anytime I get an extra like this, it's really nice because I love Oliver Copiel and his artwork is absolutely gorgeous. And here is the back with the actual cover. For a book this thin but this tall, you're going to need some sewn binding. And that's exactly what Marvel decided to do. It's a gorgeous book. And that is the content of this book. Please let me know in the comments down below if you plan on picking it up or if you own it already and you're just happy with your hardcover or trade paperback. Or I'd love to know what you think of the story. Leave those comments down below. If you enjoy the content of this video, please think about subscribing and hit that like button and notification button. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at NearMintCon. And we can also be found on Redbubble where you can get our logo right there on t-shirts and stickers. And if you enjoy the content of this channel and want to support us, we have a Patreon where there's exclusive things like early access to videos or comprehensive reading order polls or behind the scene videos. So think about joining that. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint.